down for you guys. Let me break this the fuck down. I've told you guys before, your subconscious mind is taking account of how well you treat yourself. So your self-talk, the way you speak to yourself, and your actions, how you treat yourself. Your subconscious mind knows exactly how you treat yourself. There's no fucking lie. And what you guys don't get, pay the fuck attention. Negative people, they subconsciously don't believe they deserve a positive, good day because they know how they feel about themselves. They're projecting to the world exactly what they're worth. They're showing you that they're worth nothing. Anybody, no matter how negative the stuff around them is, I was in prison around the most negative shit, and I just fucking radiated positivity to where people would come on my Instagram page and be like, man, you make me want to change my life. Negative people, they are telling you exactly what they're worth. Nothing. They're worth nothing to themselves because they won't even give themselves a good day. There can be a beautiful day like this. They could be waiting for a perfect sunny day like this. And what they'll do is they'll destroy the day by only seeing negativity around them because subconsciously they don't know they're doing it. But their subconscious mind will not allow them to have a great, positive, amazing day because they're not fucking worth it. They didn't fucking earn it. They didn't earn it with the positive self-talk and the positive actions, structuring their internal state correctly, aligning their thoughts, actions, and energy with the world that they want. The world is not as it is, the world is as you are. So as soon as you're positive, there could be the most negative shit around you, but you would never play into it because you deserve better. It's about you. You deserve better, so you don't give negativity. What you release most completely, you possess most completely. And anybody who gives a fuck about themselves wouldn't release something they don't want to possess. So as soon as you realize this, that it's completely transparent, that negative people have zero respect for themselves, then you know what their whole problem is. It's them. They're the problem. They're projecting. Those that don't reflect, they project. And in a world that's so low in self-awareness, we have to start waking people up one at a time. And how do you wake them up? You fucking yell at them. You fucking tell them straight up. They're sleepwalking. You need to smack them the fuck out of it because they don't get it. They don't think the aware people, the people who are on a higher level, they don't think we know exactly who they are because they don't know who they are. This is the thing. So no longer tolerate it. Don't buy into it because they want your negativity back because then it distracts them. I actually enjoy it. So whenever anyone brings me negativity, I know exactly how much to release back to them. I never release hate. I never hate them. I never wish bad on them. I never actually do anything to them, but I do taunt them to show them your shit don't work on me. I'll show up every day. You can tell I'm in a great place. I stay in a high frequency state. I let them know that they can't fuck with me. When you're in a high frequency and they're in a low frequency, these frequencies don't vibrate. This low frequency and this high frequency, these two cannot vibrate. So when I'm up here, they can't faze me. If I start to get low, like in the day when I'm tired and I've given too much energy, I've poured too much into people, I need to isolate a little bit, not pay attention to anything that could actually trigger me that I could vibrate with when I'm at a low. I need to sit with self, recharge myself, bring myself back up to a high frequency, and then I can go tolerate it again. You have to understand that about yourself. And even these people who are very negative, they're not always that way. That's why you sense them in waves and loops and contractions and expansions. They only do that when they really feel like shit because they're not producing the result that they want in their life. So then they project that onto you and you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. That's us. Look at us. Look at us. Like nobody who loves themselves nobody who cares about themselves and loves themselves would live a life based on that level of negativity. When you love yourself and respect yourself, your goal is to get results from people that you've got for yourself that made you feel loved and respected, so they can then feel that, and then they send that energy above straight to God. And they're speaking, they're having this conversation with God about you. And this comes back down to you. So each individual you affect in this life in this way, that is another way that you just build that spirit strength, that soul strength, that enlightened higher frequency state that very few people could ever reach. And this is something that permeates your being. So as you start to become this individual, it's easier and easier to tap into these downloads, to get these universal messages, to really clear out the sensory world, to live void of ego, to live true to self, and to operate at these higher frequencies of love, gratitude, and enlightenment. You guys, I'm going to show you over and over, but if I could just tell you anything, it's drop the sensory world 90% of the time and just think about high frequency, low frequency. Understand when people are at a low frequency and you're at a high one, you're actually massively disrupting them. You're trying to pull them up and it irritates the fuck out of them. Your energy's pulling them up, even if you're not telling them personally. But that's why when you're killing it, you want those around you to come up. And they're usually very stubborn because they don't see how it's going to work. And it's actually like an antagonist to their negativity, your positivity. So they take it as an attack. But that's the whole thing is the people who tell the truth will always massively disrupt and massively fucking it will feel such an attack to those living a lie. So those who are stuck in their comfort seeking, the pleasure seeking, that vice, that guilt and shame loop that comes from the vices and the pleasure seeking, they'll always be massively it feels like an assault or an attack when someone who has discipline, positive daily habits, and operates from an enlightened, higher level, high frequency mindset is even around them. So if you're even in their vicinity, it fucks them up. You guys, your subconscious mind is taking account of how well you treat yourself. Humans need problems. The human mind, humans in general, we need problems. Make sure you're solving the problems that get you where you want to go. And if you're avoiding the problems that you're supposed to be solving to go where you want to go, you'll create them and ruin your life. You'll completely destroy your life. Less attention. I always speak about collective consciousness. I speak about we're all one. We're all part of this collective whole. Everyone is connected. I always speak about this. And I talk about energy, frequency, and vibration. And what you guys don't understand is you don't attract what you want, motherfucker. You attract what you are. So when you're in a low frequency state, that's what you attract. When you're in a high frequency state, that's what you attract. The goal is to cultivate the proper internal state of the life you want. That's why I say the world is not as it is. The world is as you are. You guys are just thick-headed. I mean, conscious thoughts repeated often enough become unconscious thinking. Literally, it's just, I've said all these things over so many times using conscious auto-suggestion that they've become the way I live. So if you can make the conscious unconscious, you actually turn it into an action. You turn it into a feeling. You turn it into your energy because you don't have to think about it. So most people's conscious thoughts are that it's okay to have a drink. So they won't even want a drink and they find themselves grabbing one. Or it's okay to do this. And they say it so often because they're trying to convince themselves of something that their mind is trying to tell them to regret behavior. But they try to convince themselves that it's okay so often that they actually go self-sabotage. So the food thing, the drug thing, the alcohol thing, this is repeated thought that everyone says is okay, but it's not. So then they actually turn that conscious thought into unconscious thinking in an unconscious belief system that's actually acceptable by self. And that's where a lot of self-sabotage comes from. But I really just don't get why people don't understand. If you quit caving to your problems with your vices, then you'll realize this one thing. The universe already has everything. God already has everything worked out that has you all worked up. every time I believe something's an actual problem. It's my belief that it's a problem that's making it a problem. I've learned to laugh at stuff that would crumble most people. Like they would break so bad to the stuff that I've learned to laugh at. You can tell by what people call a problem out here. Hey, so-and-so's talking about you on the internet. Oh no, somebody's talking about me on the internet? Motherfucker, I was in prison for 10 years. I was actually going through stuff. And you fucking weirdos think that someone talking about you on the internet is a problem. That shows how little you've been through. You actually make this a thing. It is nothing. No one will ever sway me. No one will ever see me change in a way where I lose my confidence. I may lose my cool, but I will never lose my confidence due to anything anyone else says about me, because I've validated me for so long. In a world full of fake, fat, pussy fucks, I will always run it because I run me. And when you want to run you, you'll run you as well. And that's why I give you guys the gift, the positive daily habits. If you want to change your life, you just change your energy, your thoughts, and how you feel. In your acts, obviously. The actions are the easiest. Like I said, you have to be accountable to your actions first. Then you have to be accountable to your thoughts. And then you have to be accountable to your energy. You really have to understand when you're releasing something, doing something, or thinking something that's out of alignment to the outcome you want. So everybody always I really love you speak about energy, frequency, and vibration. You're so right. And I look at the dude and he's got tits. I'm like, bro, there's nothing you're doing to your body that's putting you in a high frequency state, bro. They think if they eat like vegan or they're eating just natural foods, that it's going to make them feel great about their body. If you don't think well about yourself, you can actually make yourself sick. If you don't think well about yourself, you will massively deteriorate how you feel about yourself mentally. And people will always be like, well, is it healthy to be that swole? Those type of people die early. That's better than living with mental health problems because you look like shit for an eternity. I mean, no one can ever say why someone like literally is healthy or unhealthy or this or that. I've seen the healthiest people croak early who didn't take any substances. And I've seen the most shot out fucking drug addicts in prison last forever. Like literally, they would shoot up anything, anywhere, and had every disease. And they kept going because they just didn't even give energy to it. So the whole thing is we attract what we are, not what we desire. If we think healthy, if we act healthy, and our feelings are aligned with what makes us feel great, we'll live a lot longer. You guys are always splitting hairs. You think that it's like black or white. Everything is such a gray area of understanding that I'm just going to tell you this. You can basically do anything you want if you're mentally strong enough to really believe what you're telling yourself. Like, you can. Like, because there is a few people who are fat and they really have a lot of confidence. And that's a rare one. There's rare cases that you see in people that's the one. But the people who always talk about it, they've outed themselves. If they're always like, nah, you don't have to do that. You know what that is. That's them projecting their insecurities. But the people who wouldn't even talk about it, like you talk about it, they would just brush it off and they'd go to killing it. Like those are the people who it never even crosses their mind. It's not even a thought to them. Sometimes I believe that that's just not their path. Like God has given them a path and that just doesn't fit it. They are just a rare individual who's supposed to walk this path. But most of us, 99.9% of us, I swear, are given the same path, which is to create the highest level individual we can so we can be offerings and we can push this message that's coming from above. So we're just advocates of a message. And we're being told to build ourselves in a certain aesthetic structure. We're supposed to carry ourselves with a certain level of virtues. And if we build this person and we live by these virtues, then our frequency will be so high and aligned that people will be attracted to us. Now, if they're attracted to us and we're tapped into this message, then we're the perfect conduit to gift it to them because they feel us. So that's what I believe. And I don't care if people believe it or not, because I know that's the truth. I mean, I've created the perfect life from living like this. And I've met very few people who have it across the board. It took me a while to get here. It took me 6 years from the gate. Most people will never find what I was able to find. You guys have seen me fail a few times in some areas pretty badly, but look how quick I regained because I never stopped. So even when I was going through some hard times with me and Angie, I was always knowing that I would do anything for her. She was closed off for a little bit and she wouldn't let me do anything for her. And that's the way I show my love, is I'll do anything for you. Like, you name it, I'll do it right now, you know. And like act of servitude, you know. And then when I just did it without her allowing me to do it, that's what got me back in. So anyone who's going through that situation, the way I got back in was I just did it. And she always would tell me that. Well, if you're going to do it, just do it. Why say it? But that was me always trying to play that game of, well, if you tell me you'll be there for me, I'll do it. And then, so I was conditional. So the second I dropped all conditions and I said, no, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll take care of these girls the rest of my life. Like, I really don't even care. Like, the story written about me at the end, it's how well that I did everything throughout my life to show what's possible and write this story. I really don't think about the end ever. I really am just like, I'm going to try my best every fucking day. Like, I don't fucking know. Wherever it ends, it ends. But I'd be happy just to get, even right now, if I died right now and they got everything that I've built or whatever, like, I'd be happy with that. And mainly the example I set, the videos I put out, the people I've affected that could retell them who I was to them, that would mean a lot to me. So if anything ever happened, that would mean a lot to me, is for you guys to tell the people that I love how much I impacted your life in a positive way. But I love all you guys like family. Anyone who's on this path with me, I love you guys like family. Like, I mean, it's not easy, but it's way easier than that other life. So I don't even understand how I don't even understand how people are debating it. But I never thought I'd make it this far. I never needed to. When I got out of prison, I didn't try to make a coaching business. I didn't even try to make a business. I was just like, I'm going to help people with training and nutrition because that's what I love to do. And I was just like, I can do training and nutrition for $250 a month. I'll change your life. That's what I've been doing. I make the bulk of my money off my lower ticket programs that are life transformation programs. So all you fuckers who are like, I need to do business coaching. I need to teach people about business and business. I make the bulk of everything off the smaller programs, the cheaper ones that are actually about changing a life. The second you go online and you talk too much about financial stuff and this and that, and you're not a life change individual, you're not going to be that powerful. You're not. The quotes I read, everything I share with you guys, what I just shared with you about being conditional when you have a breakup, that's going to save so many people if you fucking listen and you drop your fucking ego and you just say, hey, I want her back. I'm just going to do everything as if, and I need nothing in return. It's just because I love her. It's unconditional love. Learn that. Like, just take that from this video. Fuck everything else. I love you guys. Listening that there is to know that I know and I utilize, because I'm very simple. I don't like these complex, drawn out understandings of how to attract, manifest, or control your surroundings. You guys, what I share about energy, frequency, and vibration is my articulation of it and how I use it in my daily life. And one of the biggest gems I just saw that actually Angie shared with me was, it's not a question of if it's going to happen. This is life. It's not a question of if it's going to happen. It's already happening. Are you at the frequency that blocks it or lets it in? Oh, motherfucker. Do you understand that? It's already happening. What lens are you viewing life through? It's going on. Are you blocking it or are you accepting it or letting it in? Are you so undeserving of that right now? Because how you view yourself. When I've elevated past the fuckery of the sensory world, which I just did through 2 back-to-back calls, one with a savage local client of mine, the other with my group. And I spoke with my good friend Eric too about some stuff. But you guys, we're all looking at everything incorrectly when we feel like life is happening to us, not for us. I really am given the chance to prove who the fuck I am whenever anything's not going my way. Do you guys get that? Who you say you are to the world, who you fucking carry yourself as. You're getting the chance to prove who you are when shit's not going your way. Because when shit's going your way, who gives a fuck? That's not an accurate depiction of the individual you are. That's a biased measurement. I only care who you are when you're not getting your way. So, me today being tested thoroughly by lame, dick-riding, stupid fucking punk bitches who really get a massive result from your boy and they just want views off of his name because they talk shit, and then when the views start coming, they're selling as a competitor to your boy. Understand that. They talk shit, and then you go to their page and they're selling a competing product. I will never do that. I will never name anybody. I will never need their clout. I won't need their views. I won't need shit. I will need to show up for you guys with articulations like I just did. The breakdown of life. The understanding of, are we attracting stuff or are we repelling it? There's times in my day where I know I'm negative. When are those times? When I'm focused on negativity. And social media helps me with that. Because right now, anybody could be commenting anything. Anybody could be saying anything. And I will be blocking it. I'll repel it. Because I'm at a high frequency. Because I'm in a state of love for the moment. And I've been giving for hours on end. But there's times of the day where I'll get in that low frequency place. And I'll really be vibrating with that negativity. Because these low frequencies vibrate. If you see negativity, motherfucker, you're negative. If you can't even see it, you're vibrating well above it. You're in those stages of neutrality, acceptance, love, enlightenment. These stages can't be fucked with. I talked to one of my good clients, and something was going on in his life. And he was being bothered by something, and he said, just love him. It's a very simple answer. It will always block or trump the problem at hand, the perceived problem, no matter what it is. The sensory world is going to test you. It's going to come after you. It's going to try to make you come out of character. But that's a good thing as well, because when you come out of character, when you fail tests, you learn. The thing is to not fail the test and not come out of character often, so that you're not continually being given the same circumstances to then learn that lesson. Because that's God, that's the universe trying to teach you a lesson, and you keep falling for the same problem, so it's going to keep returning till you learn the fucking lesson. A lot of people have contradicting beliefs, and basically anything can be turned on its head or looked at a different way. I never do that. All my stuff is very simple. It's cut and dry. And I realize that life isn't just black and white. There is a gray area. But my beliefs, the way I operate, what I hold myself to, it's cut and dry. And what I hold myself to is that very simple understanding of low frequency Wes, high frequency Wes. High frequency Wes cannot be fazed by anything. He could be in prison and had lost everything. And he could be sending love to the world. That's high frequency Wes. Low frequency Wes could be in this home right here with everything. His beautiful family. They could be looking at him with love. He could have made a bunch of money. He has all this stuff, but he's letting negativity get to him and he can't see any of it. That man just needs to go shift that energy. He needs to go have a call with people and become the source of what he's seeking for them. He cannot think about himself to solve the problem. He has to think about others to actually just remove himself from the mindset that's creating the problem. Once he elevates above the mindset that's creating the problem by being of service for others, the problem disappears. Because the problem was attached to that mind state in that low frequency state. That mindset in that low frequency state is where the problem existed. It wasn't a real problem. It was just his view of it from his obscured lens. You guys, pay attention. There's a lot to learn here. We're never doing anything perfectly. We're in a constant state of adjustment. Nothing will ever completely go away. Aurelius said, straight never straightened for a reason. Just content. Everybody talks about content. Can you solve the deepest issues that are plaguing people today? The biggest thing that I've ever shown people to solve, this is the biggest thing, is that with positive daily habits, the early wake-up time, the reading and reflection, the workouts, the proper diet, with those positive daily habits, 99.9% of you motherfuckers will be able to extinguish your self-sabotaging behaviors. You only have those fucking self-sabotaging behaviors because you're weak and in a low frequency at that moment. When you're stacking these wins, you're at a high frequency. When you're at a high frequency, you do not self-sabotage. High frequency people who are in a high vibration state, they do not self-sabotage. It's not even a possibility because you're not in that state of desire. You're not in that state of fear. You're not in that state of guilt and shame, but mainly desire. Because when you're off your purpose, boredom leads to desire, leads to vices. So when you're living your purpose, which is creating the best you for the world, you cannot be in a state of desire. Like I've said a million times, and I'll pull it up, look at the frequency chart. I think you guys who are not seeing this really need to see this. Type in low frequency emotions, and you pull up this chart. Now this chart, right where it starts at desire, that's where the problems will occur. And boredom leads to desire, leads to vices. So when you're creating the best you, when you're doing everything to build you up, you don't notice time. You don't notice what you want. During this video, where I'm living my purpose, giving to the world, I can't desire anything. Even if I had to go to the bathroom prior to this video, I wouldn't even be able to desire to do that even. No desires can be met or even thought about when you're in these other high frequency states. So this is our goal. Our goal 24/7 to extinguish the self-sabotaging behaviors is to establish self-worth by doing the personal work. Personal development work builds the personal worth. When you have personal worth, what happens? There's no way you're going to go break yourself down. All day long, you've been running to what builds you up. You're not going to all of a sudden choose to break yourself down. I don't think anybody has ever grasped that the whole point behind this, they think it's a disease, they think it's this, they think it's that, but we all know that frequency and vibration and energy is the solution to everything. And you guys are still calling alcoholism or fucking or addiction a disease. No, it's a low frequency state. And in that state, we desire certain things. And these are patterns that were met through our life. We've been habitually constructed. We are habitual constructs. So if you've been around this, someone who has never been around drugs or alcohol, they're not just born with this disease where they crave drugs and alcohol. You were the fuck around it. It was part of your environment. If that's why I don't get any of that. The whole point is you can cure everything that exists within you. You have the tools to cure everything that ails you already within you. And it just is energy, frequency, and vibration. So how do we get to those high vibration states, those high frequency states? We do what's difficult. We do what's difficult that's aligned with creating our best self and giving our best self to the world. What else would our purpose be? What else? What else? I mean, everybody around you is trying to live life. They're trying to figure out what life is, what the purpose is, what they're supposed to do. That's everyone's job, is to go on their hero's journey, to walk through life, to gain wisdom, to fail, learn, grow, expand their mind, and really evolve as an individual, to really get into those higher states. I'm going to teach you guys over and over. It's just very simple, these simple things. And when we learn to put validation on these simple things, we put a lot of power behind them. That power is everything. You can't sell yourself out. You can't tell yourself you're going to go through your day as a certain man and then choose to backstep and be proud of that. That's where the guilt and shame loop occurs. That's at the bottom of this chart. The guilt and shame is when we don't hold our word to ourselves. The low frequency states are anger, desire, fear, guilt, shame. The high frequency ones are acceptance, love, gratitude, enlightenment. I mean, you guys, this is the answer. How do I get into these states to where I do not desire? I don't, even when you see me having all these desires met, this stuff I have, those aren't desires that are crippling. They're not negative. They don't break me down. I actually know that everything that we're drawn to in life is inseparably connected to our purpose. I see the life I'm building as one greater purpose. Do I really desire it? No, I'm detached. I have no attachment to any item or anything, none of it. I continually get rid of shit and move and all this. I don't get attached to this place, that car, this car. It's all one big vision of what's possible to continually move forward and show people that this life is worth living. And that's my purpose. Because I've broke it down into the smallest understandings that get you the biggest ROI on life, the biggest gains in life. And until you guys understand that everything you've been taught from the sensory world is a cop-out to serve the sensory world, you'll never understand that you possess all the answers within you just by understanding energy, frequency, and vibration. I love you guys. The baby's sleeping. Let's go. Let's fucking